In November 2016, a leaked video from China set the internet on fire. In the video, there was a scene of something huge moving in a place covered in thick fog, and it was also said that helicopters were hovering in the sky as if trying to confirm that creature. Someone said it had multiple arms like a gigantic insect, and rumors spread that it might really be an alien or some experimental organism. But the person who posted the video claimed the Chinese authorities immediately began censoring it, and the fact that it didn't spread to international news suggests they are hiding something.
Isn't YouTube banned in China anyway?
That's right. So it's hard to confirm right away who posted it, or whether it's really a leaked video or just a composite.
It's like their city is floating in the clouds.
Moreover, some said it could be a mirage phenomenon that occasionally appears in China, since there was once a video of a floating sky city mirage in China that became a hot topic. Eventually, professional video analysts stepped in to examine that video, and the conclusion was even more absurd. They said, it's exactly the creature from the movie The Mist, edited right in. In fact, if you look at it, its appearance is too similar, and the fog or the shaky camera effect was composited in a way that reminds people of a scene from the movie. No one knows who created such a high-quality composite, but for a while it sparked conspiracy theories that a giant creature was discovered in China. In short, this ended up being another case of a short video made a big splash, but when you look into it, it was actually a scene from a movie that had been composited. Sometimes conspiracy theorists even claim that this monster was the inspiration for The Mist. On December 10th, 2020, a man heard a strange sound in his yard and started filming with his camera. Surprisingly, there was a giant alligator hiding in the sewer. In the video, the alligator lifts its head and breathes heavily, and its rough breathing like a dinosaur sends chills down your spine. Moreover, light reflecting off its eyes made it look even scarier. In places like the Carolinas in the United States, real alligators sometimes travel through sewers into people's homes or swimming pools. Just thinking about it is horrific, isn't it? Sometimes people get attacked in such situations, and there have even been fatalities. Simply the fact that someone encountered an alligator in a yard sewer shows just how unpredictable and dangerous this can be.
At that size, it really does look like a dinosaur.
A man in Germany was on a passenger plane filming the scenery, and a video of something humanoid passing by alongside the plane became a hot topic. In the video, the plane is flying at an enormous speed, yet that creature flies alongside it at the same speed. Then suddenly, whoosh, it disappears. For first-time viewers, it looked like Superman or Iron Man flying in the sky, so their hearts must have dropped in shock. But if you think about the speed of the plane, catching up with a plane moving at hundreds of kilometers per hour is impossible for a normal human. So people started saying things like, is it actually a human or a humanoid robot? Some suggested there could be technology where a humanoid robot is made to fly like a drone, while others said that's nonsense, it's probably CGI, and were very suspicious. In the end, most video experts concluded it's very likely to be a computer-generated video, and upon investigation, quite a few unrealistic elements were revealed. They say signs of compositing could be detected from the lighting changes and the natural trajectory of the movement in the video, but it wasn't poorly done. It was made so realistically that plenty of people actually wondered, could it be real? Anyway, whenever a video of a human-shaped object flying in the sky is uploaded, there are always talks about Superman, cloud people, conspiracies, and so on. But to actually fly alongside a passenger plane at that speed, you'd need truly superhuman powers or some transcendent technology. That's the catch. It's a fun story, but in reality, many people lean toward the conclusion that it's either CGI or a drone-like device.
So when does this movie come out in theaters?
On September 20th, 2013, while a robot camera was inspecting a deep-sea oil drilling rig, it caught something massive in the darkness. At first, the footage was so dark that you couldn't really see what passed by. It just went by with a whoosh, but then after a moment, it approached close to the camera again. It looked like a sheet draped over something, flashing black and white, and the silhouette itself felt ghostly. Also, the way it swam smoothly in the water made viewers think, is this a horror movie being filmed? Even more surprising was that at one moment it looked like something, possibly its organs, protruded from its body. It's hard to tell exactly which part of its body that was, and the underwater lighting was dark and shaky, making visibility unclear. So naturally, people were horrified, saying, "What kind of monster looks like that?" Once this video spread worldwide, experts came forward, and it turned out this strange creature was a type of jellyfish called the Dipsteria enigmatica. It was reportedly first discovered by marine biologists around 1967, mainly living in the deep seas near Antarctica. So it's one of those creatures you'd never encounter in everyday life. Its body is semi-transparent and wavy, and when light hits it, it appears black and white at times. Its internal organs flash in and out of view, giving it a truly ghostly appearance. Of course, once you know it's a jellyfish, you might say, "Oh, so there's a creature like this in the deep sea." But if you saw it without any clue, you'd feel like you were in a scene from a horror movie. The one thing that's for sure is that there are still many more mysterious and strange creatures in the ocean that we don't know about.
So that's where my missing bedsheet went.
Anyone who guessed from the start that it was a jellyfish, please give a like. A video shot by some tourists in Barbados showed something that looked like a giant tree walking, causing a stir on the internet for a while. In the distance, a tree-like object starts moving slowly, making a huge sound as it does. People who saw this video speculated it might be an exaggerated depiction of the walking palm, a tropical tree that gradually moves its roots. But in the video, it really looks like a tree actually walking around, provoking both fear and excitement. Indeed, the walking palm is known to move its roots slowly over years, but that's over several years and not in a way that looks like it's literally walking around. So many people believe it's likely CGI. In particular, CGI experts have pointed out that the shaking background and light reflections seem somewhat unnatural. Nevertheless, some conspiracy theorists or doomsday believers say nature is reversing itself now. This is a sign of the apocalypse, and they're going wild. Others respond hopefully, truly new species of walking tree has appeared in the tropics. But mainstream academics, of course, do not accept that. In the end, though the idea of a giant walking tree certainly grabs attention, reminiscent of ancient mythology, in reality most lean toward it's very likely CGI. Still, that video from Barbados is so vivid, so it continues to provide both entertainment and a bit of fear.
It's even more amazing that a real walking tree exists at all.
On March the 17th, 2015, in a Russian city, a video purportedly showing a gigantic monster climbing up the wall of a high-rise building shook the internet. Using its 4 long legs to grab windows and walls, it eventually crawled all the way up to the rooftop. In the video, it's broad daylight, and many people witness it at the same time. Those who first saw it thought of Slender Man or a tall ghost with extremely long limbs. And some joked, it's like a real-life Spider-Man climbing the wall. The creepier part is that this monster was reportedly sighted in other areas of Russia too. At night, it was filmed climbing down another building's wall from a similar angle, looking nearly identical to the first creature. Its body is elongated, and it has long limbs like a spider, they say. Some even speculated that it might be a massive mutant caused by the Chernobyl nuclear accident. In other words, they wondered if radioactivity caused a grotesque mutant. Actually, photos of bizarre, mutated creatures are occasionally uploaded, claiming they were found near Chernobyl, but the majority of people say it looks obviously composited. They point out suspicious parts in the footage and say the shaky camera or reflections of light suggest a pro CGI job. Also, it's conveniently filmed from a distance, making it impossible to verify any details, so it's not really solid evidence. Even so, a lot of people who see such a scary video wonder, what if it's real, and get scared? In the end, this spider monster story became just another Russian mystery video, and it was never acknowledged as a fact. From a cold, logical standpoint, CGI compositing seems much more likely. But some conspiracy theorists still believe the Russian government could be secretly hiding mutant creatures. So even now on social media or YouTube, people occasionally recycle this video as the Russian wall-crawling monster.
I was so scared of that video as a kid, and it's still scary now.
While filming with a drone off the coast of Virginia, suddenly countless bubbles formed a circle on the sea surface. Anyone seeing it for the first time would wonder, why is there a mysterious circle of foam in the sea? Then, just as the foam converged toward the center, two massive humpback whales suddenly burst out of the water to grab their prey. This hunting method is known as bubble net, a unique strategy of humpback whales. The whales circle beneath their prey, creating a wall of bubbles that traps fish or krill in one area. For the prey, suddenly surrounded by bubbles, it's tough to escape, and the whales finish by rushing in with mouths wide open. Seen from a drone, the giant whales hunting within the circular foam is so striking, it's called beautiful by many, but from the krill's perspective, it's an inescapable trap in an instant and must be truly terrifying. In any case, thanks to advancements in drone technology, we can now capture these humpback whales' cooperative hunting scenes much more vividly, which is amazing.
Wow, whales really do seem intelligent.
That's right, they're smarter than you. A shocking video was taken in Korean waters. In the footage, creepy, frightening creatures are swimming in swarms underwater. At first glance, they look like monsters, but apparently these creatures are a type of marine worm called mulgaby. What's even more surprising is that you can sometimes find them in fresh water. Seeing it for the first time can send a shiver down your spine, but anglers know it as a precious fish and bait, which is quite expensive. In fact, fishermen even say, if I see them, I want to scoop them all up, and they drool over it. Some people were asking where the video was shot. On the other hand, those who don't fish react with horror, saying, how could anyone think of catching that? So, perspectives differ. Some go, ew, so gross, while others say, wow, awesome bait. In short, these sea worms, which can appear in the sea, are horrifying to some, and a welcome sight to others as bait. Would you swim there for 1 million won? Leave your opinions in the comments. A mushroom YouTuber went hiking as usual, filming various mushrooms. Trying to find more unusual specimens than the typical ones, he ventured deeper into an area rarely visited by people. At that moment, he heard a huge, bizarre sound he'd never encountered before. It was like a rumbling from somewhere in the forest. A giant animal's wail, chilling him to the bone. At first, he paused, wondering, where's that coming from? But the sound persisted, and his instinct told him this is dangerous. So he quickly turned around and left the forest, he said. People around him dismissed it, saying maybe it was just an angry wild deer, because deer can make surprisingly fierce calls sometimes. But if you were actually there, the volume of that noise would have been overwhelming, so the man must have been genuinely terrified. Anyway, the mushroom YouTuber said, if I had gone a little deeper, who knows what would have happened, and felt a chill thinking about it. One thing's for sure, if I'd been in that forest, Usain Bolt would no longer be the fastest human on Earth. We still don't know exactly what made that sound, but many guess it was just a deer, while others speculate it could be some other creature. In any case, if you went hunting for mushrooms and heard an unknown monster-like sound, you'd be scared out of your mind.
Maybe Bigfoot living in the forest lost $10 million Bitcoin.